Hey guys, this video will discuss the differences between rabbits that are in a family of people and rabbits that live with two people that are in a relationship. This video will also answer the question of can you have rabbits and small children at the same time? Feel free to correct me if I get any information wrong. If a rabbit lives in a house with a family of people, then the general atmosphere for the rabbit and rabbit care aspect may be slightly different compared to if they live with individual people or couples. If a rabbit is kept outside all of the time and has another rabbit to be friends with, it might not make a difference to them if a family or a couple takes care of them, depending on how much attention and interaction and also how many different people in the family are involved in making the contribution of taking care of the rabbits. If one or two people are the only people that the rabbits see, but they still technically live in an environment with a family around, then it would be the same way as if a couple took care of them. However, inside the house is a little different. Rabbits being around a lot of people, especially a family, could put them under a lot of stress. However, this can have the opposite effect and help make the bonding and becoming comfortable in their environment process easier for them, but it depends on the rabbit. From a rabbit's perspective, if only one or two people are taking care of them, it makes sense to be skeptical. However, if a family of people are always around, they will likely find someone in that batch of people they like, because it often takes a lot of effort to watch rabbits outside all of the time. Unless you leave the back door open, it makes sense that rabbits that are kept outdoors may not be able to get as much attention compared to if they are kept indoors. And if rabbits are kept outdoors, one or two people may not be able to split the attention, and they would have to go to the extra effort to pay attention. However, if there are several people around, it makes sense that attention can be split between them. With families, whether or not tons of people being around will cause a rabbit stress will most likely depend on whether or not they have any small children around in that family that could put unfair stress on rabbits. If a family has parents and teenagers and young adults, then this could actually help benefit them getting used to their environment and establishing their trust around people that live around them. Where a rabbit lives, if they do live in a house, is very important here. If your front room is a good amount of space and is separate from other rooms in your house, this could be an advantage for any rabbit owner, but especially families, as a rabbit may feel that they have a sense of privacy while also having the opportunity for people to be there to interact with on a regular basis, and the owner won't have to worry about their rabbit waking them up. So it is a win-win for both the rabbits and the owners, since the rabbits and the owners are both happy in this scenario. Individual people can have it similar but different in a few ways. Rabbit owners who live by themselves and only have rabbits are not always, but often are people who are old enough to be parents but chose not to be because maybe they couldn't have kids, or they aren't in a successful relationship, or possibly a relationship at all, or their kids already grew up and moved out of their house. And young adults, so people in their 20s who take care of rabbits, may not have this problem, as people don't typically have kids until they get to their late 20s. But if they do eventually get into a relationship and it goes from one person to a couple taking care of a rabbit, so two people, depending on how long your rabbit was in their environment and lived with you before you had a relationship, they may be fine with it and adapt eventually. But it might take some getting used to. If you decide to have a kid while having a rabbit, you should probably plan out what to do about that ahead of time. Small children put a lot of unfair stress on rabbits, and toddlers probably would as well. And depending on how old your rabbit already was before having a kid, your rabbit may die of old age, or you might have to give your rabbit to someone else, possibly by putting them up for adoption and then become a rabbit owner later when your kids are teenagers or young adults or moved out. My cousin and her boyfriend are both in their mid-30s now, and they have two kids, a son and a daughter. The son is 6 years old and the daughter is 1 year old, and they got rabbits about 2 months ago. The 6-year-old is energetic, but he understands that there is a time and a place and that it is necessary to be calm around rabbits, but for the most part he doesn't seem to really care that much about the rabbits enough to be a nuisance to them. This is because for about 3 years, so before they got rabbits, he had a cat that was inherited from his great-grandparents. He learned how to be kind, gentle, and calm around animals by having a cat that was already elderly. They purposely waited until the cat passed away to get rabbits. The 1-year-old daughter is eager to interact with the rabbits, is very excited, and always wants to touch them. Both the 6-year-old son and 1-year-old daughter are allowed around the rabbits. However, this is possible because of them being outside in a run most of the time and in a hutch at night. And the hutch is a lot of space, so all of it combined is a lot of space, which is necessary for the rabbits. Because of all this, it is more difficult to reach the rabbits, but they can still be given interaction and enough space, which is a win-win for everyone, being both the parents, kids, and rabbits in this case. The rabbits are kept outdoors, which makes it significantly easier to control the kids around them most of the time. So it is very possible to have rabbits while also having kids, but it is necessary to know what you are doing and understand if the specific circumstances are practical for the situation. But it is important to know that having kids is more of a commitment than having a rabbit would ever be. But that's not to say that having rabbits isn't a commitment, because of course it is. Some people may critique the idea of keeping rabbits outside, while some argue that rabbits do not belong indoors and that they should be outside. In my opinion, rabbits can be kept indoors as long as they are provided a good amount of space and the right amount of food. As for my opinion about rabbits being outdoors, I think that it can be done. If you do put your rabbit outside, you should consider certain risks that could occur depending on the environment you live in. With my cousin's household, they have taken the right precautions, and the risks aren't as high for putting rabbits outside in their area. In conclusion, there is a significant difference between a family that is actively being started and a family that is already established getting rabbits. Assuming that the family that is already established has teenagers and young adults as kids and not small children. But if you know what you are doing, maybe you can have small children and rabbits at the same time. If you want to, please let me know if you are an individual person, in a relationship, so a couple, or in a family of people and have rabbits simultaneously. I am curious, so let me know. It could help create discussion that could be helpful for people to know, since the amount of people that take care of rabbits is vital to determining what having a rabbit will be like, and it could negatively or positively affect the bonding process by possibly having variety, or variety not even being necessary in some cases depending on the rabbit. It is all important to know. Thank you for watching this video, and bye!